Welcome back everyone, this is Eric and Barry from Moss Pawn and Gun, and today we have another torture test video for you. As you guys may know, we're kind of known for the initial test we did on the high point pistol where we did a torture test, and everyone's asking us, hey, guys, can y'all do some other guns?
Right.
And I decided that I want to do a Mosin. I was looking through my gun collection the other day and I found this ratty parts gun that we put together, and we're going to be testing out a variety of things through this gun today that none of you should attempt. I'm serious, people. What we're doing today is very dangerous, and we're doing it in very controlled circumstances.
Right. Now, what we're doing today, like Eric said, is very, very dangerous. Now, we're going to set this gun up in a vise, and we're going to remote fire it. Now, Eric's prediction is this gun will not leave here today in one piece.
Yeah, the gun's not leaving in one piece.
No.
Now, a question I get all the time about torture testing is, Eric, why bother torture testing? I mean, the point of a torture test is that you're doing things to the gun that no average person in their right mind would do. Now you ask yourself, why would you bother doing that? The reason you do that is because if the gun will survive a variety of crazy torture-like situations, it'll survive any normal operating circumstance. So, without further ado, let's get started. I have a pretty strong idea of what's going to happen with this gun. I know how strong the guns are. They are very well-made rifles. We're going to find out. And this is the ultimate Mosin test, I promise.
Well, now, Eric and I have discussed this. I don't think this action is going to fail. It's going to fail in the breech area, or right in front of the breech area where the sight is. But this is what we do this for, is to show you that there's a large safety margin built into every gun.
That's correct.
Now, we're going to do some loads today that are insane.
Insane, and you'll see that in a moment.
Don't do anything you see us doing.
Yeah, the whole point of this torture test also, we know that the gun is going to fail before the day is out.
Right.
All right, we know that. So we're going to learn as much as we can in the process.
Right.
So let's get started.
Let's get started.
All right, we're going to take the gun out to the test site. For transport, you always want to make sure the bolt's open. Actually, I lied. The test site's here. I just wanted to do that. All right, well, after a little bit of a drag through the cow pasture there, we got some grass stuck in it. We lost the upper handguard. The barrel bands have come loose. The stock isn't cracked. Let me see if I can get the action open. We get that open.
There we go.
That empty. Of course, we're not going to shoot this until we can actually verify the chamber and bore is clean. Obviously, we don't want to do anything dumb. I got one more thing in mind. Let's try that. All right, one of the things about military rifles that people always complain about is that some of these older ones have wood buttstocks. All right, and that's fine. Wood buttstock's not that big of a deal. We're not talking about a French rifle. We're talking about a Russian rifle. So, you got this nice metal butt plate. Let's just give it a good old bash here on the cinder block, and I'm going to see if basically what we're trying to find out here is if we can crack the stock. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Well, we uncocked the bolt. That's no big deal. But the stock is sound. We didn't crack the stock. I think that's capable of crushing a few skulls. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we've taken the Mosin for a bit of a ride, and we've seen, some pretty nasty things done to it. I'm going to fire just a couple of service loads, just, as the gun sits. Of course, I checked the chamber and the bore. It's clean, no problem. We're not dumb. We're not going to fire it like that. Let's try it. All right, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about black powder loads. These are actually 2F black powder Mosin loads. It's a full case of black with 150 grain pills stuffed on top. You know, black powder is not normally used in the Mosin, but again, this is a torture test, so we're trying to find out what the gun can handle, what it can eat, and more importantly, if it does anything, like if it actually hits anything. So I know it's not going to be dangerous. We just want to make sure the bullet actually leaves the barrel. You'll find out in a moment. Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounded like it actually got out of there with some minute authority.
That's about like a smokeless load.
Well, that's one way to do it, people.
Shooting good.
All right, to show you the flexibility of the Mosin, I've actually loaded a couple of what are called gallery loads. This is a 13 grain red dot charge on one of these. The first one's going to be a 13 grain. This is the recommended load for a gallery load in the Mosin. This is if you want light recoil, if you want the kids to be able to shoot it, your wife, without a whole lot of recoil. Let's try it. All right, as you can see there, very light recoil. The brass barely fire forms. So if you want to reuse your brass a lot, that's a great option. All right, that was a 13 grain charge. Now we are going to step up to a 15 grain charge. This is considered by many to be about the maximum load of red dot you want to put. All right, remember, this is a reduced gallery load. It uses a high-speed shot shell powder, so it's not safe to use in large amounts. Or is it? All right, this is a 15 grain. I've loaded them up this hot before. I know it's not going to damage the gun or me. I'm completely confident doing this. You can tell right there that one had a lot more snap to it. We're going to step it up a little bit. The rest of these, needless to say, we will not be firing from the shoulder. All right, we are going to remotely fire 20 grains of red dot. That is 25% over maximum recommended charge for gallery load. For those of you that hand load, you're probably looking at this and going, oh my God, I can't believe he's about to do this. This is a pretty hot load.
If this gun survives there, it's going to give it to me. Let's see what happens to it.
All right, people, we ready? We hit the plate. All right, while my esteemed associate is securing the gun for the next firing, we found that our 20 grain red dot load did not harm the gun at all. I would not recommend loading this with 20 grains of red dot, as that's a little bit on the hot side, but it's good to know that you have a margin for safety when you're using gallery loads. 20 grains is a little hot, but we did get a little bit of flattening out on the primer, but nothing too serious.
Well, that's what testing's all about, folks.
That's right.
We're seeing what limitations this gun has.
All right, what we're going to do next, we're going to do a 57 grains of H335. That's 15% over maximum recommended charge, and it is a compressed load. This one's going to be nasty. 57 grains of H335. Very, very hot load. Here we go. All right, once loads start to get to the upper end of the spectrum in terms of what you're going to see with pressure signs, one of the biggest pressure signs you're going to see is a sticky bolt. All right, this bolt
stuck pretty good.
It's stuck pretty good. Yep.
Let's get something hammered open. Hang on.
Yeah, hammer it open, Barry. It's definitely not typical. Once you start approaching these types of pressure signs, that's a good sign that you need to back the hell off on your rifle charge if you're hand loading. If you're shooting service ammunition and it's doing this, it's usually attributed to excess cosmoline in the chamber, which can cause, of course, the bolt to stick. That's not what this pressure sign is about. This is about just pure pressure. Not peer pressure, pure pressure. Knock that thing open, Barry. There you go.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have to hammer this one out. Let's have a look, see how bad it's boogered up.
Well, it don't look too bad. It's just the head's extruded somewhat.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we definitely got some case head separation going on. Definitely got some flattening out of the primer, which is a bad sign. Anytime it craters out and flattens like that, that's not a good sign. If you end up with a primer that is larger than the way the primer started, then that's a pressure sign. And you need to take that as you need to back off on the charge.
All right.
We'll step it up. All right, the next load we're going to try, this is a full case of 4350. It's a compressed charge, as much 4350 as I could cram in a 54R. This is very dangerous. People, please do not do this. All right, a case full of 4350. I don't think this is going to end well. I don't think it's going to pop the gun, but we're going to get some sticky extraction. All right, here we are. All right, let's see what happened.
Bolt didn't stick.
Bolt did not stick.
That's amazing.
And
Absolutely.
you know, we got some of the same pressure signs that we got on the stout charge of H335. What that tells you, what we've learned here, one, the Mosin's a very strong action. We knew that. I knew that going into this test. The main thing that it tells you is that reloading data is extremely conservative.
It's very interesting that that round did not stick.
It did not stick. That was a pretty stout load.
That was free extraction and everything.
It did. That would have, you know, you probably could shoot those all day long.
Yep.
I don't know how good they shoot. Now, all right, I've got a couple of nasty pills here. This is 47 grains of 2400. 2400 is a Magnum pistol powder. This, people, I'm telling you, this is stupid. Don't do it. This is very dangerous. We're going to load this up. We're going to remotely fire it. I'm going to tell you a quick story about a buddy of mine I was talking to that lives in Canada. And he was talking about a gentleman that brought a 300 Winchester Magnum rifle in that was blown to smithereens. I mean, stock, lock, and barrel blown to smithereens. They found out that he bought the rifle secondhand from an elderly gentleman. I guess he was getting on up there in age and wasn't sure of what he was doing. But he had loaded 200 grain, 300 Winchester Magnum ammunition with unique powder. He took unique, filled the case up, scraped it off, and stuffed a bullet on it. That stupidity is what we've replicated here. If this does not pop this gun, I'm going to be very surprised. All right, we got a case full of 2400. People, I cannot stress to you how dangerous this is. Please don't do it. All right, here we go. If this gun survives, I'm going to be very impressed. Oh man, this thing's locked up, more stuck up than a valley girl. Whoa. Oh man, we have to beat that thing open, Barry. Why don't you give her a whack there? I told you, this thing is seized up.
You ain't gonna beat it open.
I told you, that thing's seized up good.
It ain't gonna come open.
Hit it, Barry, hit it. Hit it, boy.
Well, Chad beat the thing open on the table.
Yeah, leave it up to my Terminator.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, all right. Well, of course it's stuck. All right, here we go.
Man.
I told you, if that pill didn't bust it, I know what would. I mean, it's in there. We're gonna have to get back to the shop, and we're gonna have to grab a hardened rod to get that brass out of there with, okay? We will have to do a part 2 to this video, because we're not done yet. That ain't gonna do it, Barry. I told you that was a hot pill. We'll follow up with more progress on this situation. It's looking like we're getting another High Point series under our belt here.
Yeah, we got a Mosin series going on.
We got a Mosin series going on now. So, you know, the difference between the High Point video and the Mosin video is that I went into the Mosin, or I went into the high point video hating high points. To a degree, I still do. But this video, I went into it loving the rifle. It just makes me love the rifle that much more. You know, I love Mosins. They're great guns. They're accurate. They're reliable. They're dependable. As you can see, they're tough as nails. We're not done here yet. This gun has still got some life in it yet. And we're going to keep experimenting. And we'll keep you posted on all the details. If you like this concept, let us know. We're going to keep it going. So thanks for watching.